I had been hooking up with this girl who had a boyfriend, and this was my mid-20s where I was like kind of toxic, and I was like,
was it
whatever.
an affair thing?
Yeah, it was an affair.
Okay.
It was an affair, but my attitude was like, not my boyfriend, you know what I mean? And then she like brought her boyfriend to one of my shows, and I was like,
that's so bold.
Oh, so now
they're trying to do a threesome. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So like,
how did it happen that you started hooking up with her?
So she was like a friend of my friends, and we were all at a Black History Month like poetry night on the Upper East Side, if you can believe.
Wow.
Why?
Wow.
And she was there, and she came over. We then like went back up to Washington Heights and just got real messy, just the whole crew.
That night.
And then we hooked up. So it was like, so we hooked up.
But not the whole crew hooked up, just you guys.
Just me
okay,
and the
I got
girl,
so excited when you said we all got messy.
No, it was not. I've never been in an orgy before. But so anyways, then.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Tonight, after the podcast.
we
the podcast
have 17
is,
different people in the back.
I don't know.
Come on out.
Get a little more of that egg salad in me. Fuel up.
Hello, welcome to Yenta.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome to Yenta, the podcast where we're going to share each other's secrets.
Yes.
Do you know what a Yenta is?
Of course.
Okay, good. What's a Yenta to you?
Well, famously, like, so when I was a kid growing up in Chicago, my parents would be like talking in the front seat, and I wouldn't really be listening in the back, but then their tone would like switch a little bit, and I could tell there was something good, and I'd be like, wait, what'd she say? Yeah. And my dad would always go, what a Yenta, what a Yenta.
So he said it as a way to put you down, is what I'm hearing.
Like, it was just like calling me out for sure.
I knew we were going to get along because I've always been a Yenta my whole life.
Young childhood curiosity of what's going on.
Well, because it was like I was completely checked out, and even maybe just like them trying to talk with. There could have been something of like, they're trying to engage me. I'm a little bit like, fine, good, whatever, and then they're talking about like someone getting it, and something juicy comes up, and suddenly I'm like, what? Who?
Even
what
as
happened?
kids, we could tell when there was something heated coming up.
Right.
When they start when you use like whatchamacallit and who's it, I'm like, okay, it's getting deep.
Right. Then you gotta.
Okay.
We should introduce ourselves.
For all our Goyisha listeners, a Yenta is a gossip.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a sexy gossip.
Busybody.
A busybody. And, we're taking back the word Yenta. Yenta is like a
matchmaker, right?
See, no. That is a very common misunderstanding
of Yenta.
Of Yenta. I think you're thinking Yentol.
Maybe.
Anyway, it's a gossip.
Fuck?
We're gonna very different, very
Get
different.
off the podcast.
I'm Raye Schiller. I am the co-host. I am the Yenta. I'm a comedian. I do everything, and I also do my mother's voice, and that is my claim to fame. And this is Jack.
I'm Jack Brenner. I'm also a comedian. I host a couple shows. I like to think I do my mother's voice, but my mother does not speak in the voice that I do, and so. I feel like everyone has like an idea of a fake Jewish mother, and none of them are real.
Sure.
But that's me. You want to?
Rachel Joravsky. I'm a comedian. Yeah. I also work in kids TV, but I don't. Sometimes I'm like, man, maybe I shouldn't tell people that. Like, I write for kids TV after they hear all the blasphemous things that are about to come out of my mouth.
What kids TV?
I write for. Are you all familiar with Story Pirates TV? It's a show on PBS.
Absolutely not.
It's like,
but it sounds like a blast.
It's like a children's literacy show.
Probably for the best that we don't know what it is.
I mean,
I'm big into PBS.
No children.
Real.
No reason to be watching it. And I don't think I do my mother's voice. I probably do more my father's voice. It's like, it's always kind of coming out of me. He's just like, Rachel, Rach, come on, Rachel. He's just like a Midwest Jew.
That's so funny.
So I think I'm more his essence, but aren't we a mix of all of our ancestors?
In a way.
And all of their gastrointestinal problems.
I'm such a non-Jew. I think I'm like below high holiday Jew. So my ancestors would be upset if I say anything.
But you went to Hebrew school.
I did. I had the whole bar mitzvah.
Right.
But I bowed out so quickly afterwards.
Right.
It was so, and it's because that's the tea, is that you visited my childhood temple.
Yes.
And
that's pretty big too.
It's pretty big.
You may have had fun. To me, the place was so boring. It was not a fun place for a child.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I spent all day. Wow, I'm just thinking about how much this is going to alienate the goyim, and you can't.
That's
care.
fine. The goyim love me.
So I spent all day. We came there Friday for Friday night. Kabbalat Shabbat services,
right?
And then because it's a conservative synagogue I was working for, we walked back to the hotel, and then we walked
because you can't drive.
Because you can't drive on Shabbat
on Shabbos. Did you know that?
I did. I saw TikTok the other day.
And that's how you learn.
Oh shit, that's awful.
No, I was in the game deep this weekend, just like the religious game. Then we walked back on Saturday, and then we proceeded to stay at your childhood, synagogue until Shabbat ended, because it was like, where can we really go?
Right. Well, it's kind of not. It's not in the middle of nowhere, but it's not a really walkable place.
Yeah, 2 Arizona cops drove alongside us, so that felt good.
Wow.
Thank you for your service.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Yeah, the piglets were patrolling. Sorry, I'm going to alienate your cop audience too, apparently.
Look, we have a huge cop audience, actually.
Actually, our primary listener base is Arizona police officers. Just signing off as we speak.
Yes.
No, they're notoriously terrible. The Arizona.
No, it was weird. It was weird to be like escorted by the police. It's
complicated as a Jew, because it was also like the National Day of Hate or something this past weekend.
Right.
That's right.
That was like,
Oh yeah, who planned that?
Jew hate.
Who was behind that one?
Bob.
Incels, I think they were like on Reddit, like, what if we just hated everyone more today?
Right.
Because like the other days, the Nazis take a break.
Especially the Jews.
I feel like the incels all need to like line up and peg each other. You know what I mean? And that'll just sort of cure them in an instant. Just one line, sort of human centipede style.
Yes. Just like one long line.
And then they're just cured. And then they do good for the world.
Right, exactly.
Then they turn all their incel energy into tikkun olam.
Yes.
Oh God.
1,000%.
And we just get more male comedians. And that's,
and then they become comedians too.
An incel who have sex is a male comic. That's my point of view. When an incel have sex, comedy. They graduate to stand-up comedy.
That's the pipeline.
That's the pipeline.
There you go.
Cool. All right. Well, you're Jewish.
I am Jewish.
Tell the people about you.
How Jewish are you?
Yeah. So
let's fight.
I'm an interesting case. So I grew up deeply secular.
Okay.
Like my dad didn't put me in Hebrew school because he wanted me playing basketball on Saturdays.
Whoa.
Wow.
And
your Jewish dad?
My Jewish dad, and my grandma was like, if you don't put those 2 girls in Hebrew school, they're going to end up Christian.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
You are so not religious that you
we have the same grandmother.
Religion. You're like, the Jewish thing I never got, but this Jesus guy.
Right. She's like, mark my words, those girls are going to be Christian. And now it's just like,
There's like a Bible underneath your bed.
Right. Secretly.
You're like hiding it.
Right. So it was an interesting I'm from Chicago, city of, not the suburbs. And basically it was like Saturday, instead of going to like, your Hebrew school Saturdays, I was playing basketball in like Chicago in predominantly black spaces. And so then after I would go up to Evanston, which is a suburb of Chicago, and like have lunch with my grandma. And that was kind of the Hebrew school. And she'd be like,
she would educate you,
calling me a little shiksa.
Okay.
So it was like a lot of culture.
That's how you learned about Jewish stuff, being called a shiksa.
Being called a shiksa.
This is the most hostile way to become a Jew.
But also,
that's how every Jew becomes a Jew, being yelled at.
And honestly, through my black friends too, just because I was like, oh, I'm understanding otherness through like this black lens. And so I was, and like when you're the only white kid, it's like, you don't want to be white. So I'd be like, I'm not white, I'm Jewish. And they'd be like,
I got you.
No, you're not.
So you have money. And I'm like, no, but now we're going into weird territory. So it was an eclectic upbringing, but now I am employed by like one too many Jewish institutions. And so I've been like forced to kind of learn to in the name of securing the bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like you're literally earning money with your Judaism.
Yes.
Were you bat mitzvahed?
No.
Wow.
Would you ever get a bat mitzvah?
I'm like thinking about having one. I'm in talks.
You should.
It's in the plans. I've thought about it.
I'm potentially having
Make
one.
it a comedy bat mitzvah. Just have everyone roast you.
Right.
That's what bat mitzvahs are.
A roast. No, it's something to be considered. I'm potentially having one in August, but also like
Like a real one?
it's a lot to learn.
Are we on the invite list?
I mean,
We
yeah.
better be.
If you're Jewish, like it's because I know so many non-Jews. Do you ever feel that way that you're just like,
No.
oh, I know so many
Oh my God,
non-Jews.
yeah.
Like
I have the opposite
God.
problem.
You
I
feel like-
only know Jews.
that's pretty sick.
You know what? Because I mean, maybe you've seen it, but Arizona Jews are just fucking annoying, and they're all like little conservatives in training, and,
Right,
like-
right.
And so like there were no Jews in my high school, and so I was like, I don't know anybody. And so when I came to LA, I was kind of like in disbelief that anybody was.
Was it like a real Anglo vibe in your high school?
Oh, so I went to a Christian high school.
No.
And we like read like the New Testament and shit.
No.
And, like, I had to be like, this stuff seems a little odd. And they were like, shut up, Jew boy. And I'd be like,
Okay.
oh my God. And so I was the opposite. I was like, no, I promise I'm white. I'm not Jewish. Like, don't worry.
right,
Not Jewish. I am white. Don't worry. You know?
No, yeah, the Anglo environment, those are really the ones that you gotta
You'll be wary.
buckle up when you ride into them, you know?
Okay, so you're Jewish. You're Jewish by profession.
I'm Jewish by, and blood, you know,
And
there's,
blood,
there's
yeah,
not
whatever.
a drop of not Jewish blood in there. That's the truth. Yeah, both parents Jewish. Dad's family was or my mom's family was in the United States a generation longer, or like a generation longer, and it showed, you know what I mean? Like, Dad's family was more like the shtetl trash. Like they had like
Shtetl trash.
they had like they were thickly accented. You know,
I haven't heard that. Shtetl trash.
I kind of made it up.
I like that.
Feel free to use it.
I might steal it.
Garbage.
Bring it back.
The ghetto, the shtetl ghetto trash.
Yeah, they were, but my mom's family, like they had like made a way in the garment trade, and whereas my dad's family was using like education to like get up, so it was like this huge culture clash
of
that
the
made
Jews.
for just a beautiful toxic.
Yeah, comedian. Bloom.
You did none of those things.
Right. But yeah, so born and raised Chicago. Do y'all know? Have y'all been to Chicago?
No, I really want to go.
Great city, North Side, in the
Good
city,
comedy scene.
Great
Windy
comedy
city.
scene. Windy.
I heard it's windy. Oh, I had a friend tell me this. I would like to hear proof. It's not windy, called the Windy City because it's windy in terms of like wind, but because of all the corruption. I heard.
No, it's the wind off. I mean, the politicians aren't great there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But to me, it was the understanding of like the wind off the lake.
Yeah, I feel like
it is
that-
a strong ass wind. I'm not gonna
So
lie.
many
Like, it's a
lakes there.
Very strong.
I
wind.
can't go unless it's summer.
Oh, it's
Otherwise, I refuse to be
beautiful
there.
in the summer.
Yeah,
Really?
Sprint there and run.
I have a
don't
very good
walk.
friend from Chicago.
Oh,
Sarnagar.
They took your mic away for that.
In case she doesn't want to be on this popular podcast that's going to blow up.
Did she grow up in the city?
Yeah. No, the suburbs. So yeah,
So I
you would have
probably
been
wouldn't know
Jewish.
her.
Yeah.
What? Which suburb do you know? Highland
Nope.
Park?
Oh, that sounds right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's like a classic Jewish suburb.
Yeah,
and also Michael Jordan moved there. So
Oh.
Is he still kicking?
yeah, he's absolutely alive. He's absolutely
I don't know
alive.
why I thought he would be dead.
Interesting enough, his kids went to my high school.
Yeah.
And you know who else went? So I went to a public high school on the Near West Side. Michelle Obama went there.
Hell yeah.
We had a cutout of her.
That's
in our
big.
school
You
school.
win.
In
You
our-
win
yeah.
the
My
celebrity.
biggest claim to fame
Yours is Hannah
Heather
Einbein.
Morris from Glee was at a high school my sister went to.
Wait-
And that,
Not Hannah Einbinder and Chapman.
no,
That
it's
seems
Heather
bigger.
Morris.
Oh.
Come on, you think? Okay, Hannah seems nice.
I
but
don't know who
Glee,
Heather Morris
You
is.
think Hacks is going to
Yeah,
have a bigger
yeah.
cultural influence than Glee?
Don't
You know,
shade Hannah on this podcast.
Don't shade Glee like that.
I didn't actually ever see Glee, but I have like watched Sue Sylvester clips.
You either look,
that is a category on its own. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
her
yeah.
memes too.
Yes.
Yeah.
look. You can't watch it now. You either rewatch it if you've seen it, and that's it. You can't watch it now.
It won't.
You either were with it or you weren't.
Because it won't hold up.
No, none of it.
Yeah, that's a
it
good
is
point.
somehow the most racist, like non-progressive show, homophobic, like relies on
Inclusive.
all the stereotypes, but like the only queer story I saw growing up, the only handicapped kid.
Well, it was huge for its time, right?
Huge for its time.
At the time.
But like they were still so awful to all the groups they were being progressive towards.
Right.
So it was like, I don't know if you're supportive or not.
Right.
But it's there. It was represented.
Right. But what's the messaging? Unclear. You know?
Do I support these lesbians? Well, they're both terrible people, but they're in love.
Jane Lynch's
but that is very on brand for being a lesbian. No, the other, there's cheerleaders that are lesbians.
Okay.
They're really hot.
It starts as a joke, and then it gets.
This is a great segue into queerness.
Yeah.
I'm gay.
Nice. Hell yeah.
You're like, yeah. So what?
I'm gay.
I'm gay, bro. What up about it?
I'm gay. I used to identify as bisexual.
Oh, I love this.
I can't escape all the dick I had inside me once upon a time. No, I think like my body count's like 30.
Wow. Nice.
Is that a lot?
Like men and women, or
men
just
and women combined?
That's not so bad.
Not so bad, but
I mean, it wouldn't have made a difference if it was just men. But I feel like. Okay, yeah.
But here's where it gets gross, is that I think 6 of them were, I can for sure name the 6 women. So then it's like, so there was 24 dudes. Like that's so many.
So statistically you're straight.
Do you?
Statistically I'm still straight. But,
right. But, on a technicality.
But all my major relationships have been with women. It was just like, you know, it was chaotic. It was chaotic in college. You know, it's just like
so the lesbianism happened after college.
So this is how. So I had a high school boyfriend, and then I had like some college booze. They were boyfriend. More like a I don't. What's not? I think a boo is not quite a boy. It was a boyfriend, but it was kind of like
boo, but by location. Like,
well, I guess it was a 3-month relationship. So is that a boyfriend?
I feel like after 3 months it can become. I feel like 3 months is like the traditional, like, all right, what are we doing?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So that, and then there was just like a few, and then I was like sleeping around with guys, and I was like, man, I'm just like, I feel like I should be liking this more. Like I was like, I'm not like, this is not.
It was like you were doing experiments. That's why it was so high. You had to just like make sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I had to have.
Also, it's not that high
amount of data.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I was really like into the idea of like just being eaten out a lot, and I was like, you know what? I was like,
and none of them were doing it at all.
I was like, I want some head for like hours, you know? Like I want like hours of head.
That's good.
And so I was like, you know, I'm thinking that's
interesting.
Yeah.
I don't like hours of head personally.
I can definitely enjoy it.
Hours.
I mean, I have to be careful because then you don't want to be just like, you know,
taking. Are you pillow princess?
I'm not though. Well,
it sounds like
it's about to. I sound like
give it for hours.
Well, here's the thing is, and we're really gonna get graphic.
Do you know what a pillow princess is? Well, let's explain to the listeners
what a pillow princess.
Yeah, pretend I don't know what it is.
A pillow princess is like a girl who just like lays there and gets pleasured by someone else
for hours.
Yes. I gotta say,
which is what you just described.
I don't understand how that's a derogatory term. That sounds like a.
But it's usually like straight girls who are just like
who are experimenting and don't really want to have sex with women.
That's fair.
But
also a lot of gay women do that too.
Here's what's tough.
Yes.
Is that I am a squirter.
That's amazing. So tough.
That is something that occurs that automatically becomes the main event. The person that you're with is just like obsessed with making that happen.
This is great.
And so it becomes that becomes the dynamic of like it's like I want the big event, you know what I mean? I'm trying to these hoes are trying to get rained on, you know what I mean? Like sorry, it's so toxic.
You are arguably our most sexually explicit guest thus far.
I love the direction that this podcast is going in. I only want more.
It's fun.
Yeah. No.
This is why I can't tell people I write for children's TV.
Come on, they need to learn.
This is educational in a way.
Yeah. Let's call it that. So
so it's kind of like, is it kind of like You're like the dude in this situation. Like once you squirt, you're like, I'm done.
No, it can happen again and again.
No.
That's yeah. I mean, have you ever been with a girl that squirts?
No.
It's like when you get turned on, it comes out of the bladder, but it's not pee. It's like a different sort of liquid because it like when you're squirting, you use bathroom before you have sex. That is a golden rule, so you can be sure of what's what.
What about like towels underneath?
Yeah, it's incredibly high maintenance.
Yeah.
That's really high maintenance.
I prefer girls that don't squirt.
Yeah,
because I'm very clean.
Yeah, you're gonna get dirty. You're gonna get.
Does that not sound like a good time to you?
No, I'm joking.
Like
of course, it would be great. No, it seems great. I feel like I could, but I haven't done it because I'm like. I'm a neat freak.
You're still debating.
I'm like,
no,
dirty.
well, it's so like the first time it's so involuntary. It's just like the first time it happened, it was just like in my college girlfriend's eye, and it was like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I know.
That's amazing. Does she walk around with pink eye?
Like, did you know at that point?
I didn't. Well, I think it did actually happen with my high school boyfriend too, and I remember there being like a lot of wet on the bed, and us kind of being like, whoa, what was that? Like, what happened? But we were both like virgins, you know what I mean? Like figuring it out. So it was like, what? That's confusing. So yeah, it's been my journey through squirting.
So you squirted your first time?
No. This was like a few times in.
Okay, because that would be really unbelievable.
No. The first, that was absolutely not the first time.
I feel like everyone around the board, it's terrible the first time.
It's odd. Yeah. How were your first times?
With a guy was weird.
Yeah. How old are you?
I have like a different.
Okay, now I want.
I take my two virginities.
Right, the two.
With the guy, I was like 19, and with the girl, I was 18.
Wow.
I would say, yeah. Was that old?
No, I mean,
reverse, which is interesting.
Yeah. But then I dated the guy for 5 years.
Oh wow.
So. Lots of no squirting.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine. He was nice about it.
Yeah.
He was a nice guy, which I feel very lucky, actually.
Right. No, that is lucky. That's absolutely lucky.
That's like it's okay.
Right. Yeah, you're a nice guy.
Yeah, because I feel like, I don't know, people have such shitty experiences sleeping with men.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah.
I don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
No,
do.
Wait, so I want to hear about your bisexual
sure.
pipeline, because Jack was asking me earlier, how do you identify? And I'm like, I am technically bisexual because I would fuck dudes.
Yes.
But I kind of love women.
Yes. Famously sit on a few dicks between girlfriends.
Exactly. Yes. So but you're doing that, and you're still like, I'm a lesbian.
Well, I've never really used lesbian that much, but maybe I should.
This is so
try
great.
It out more.
Maybe we should change the podcast to just talk about
gay stuff.
We
didn't get to your first time.
Yeah, Jack, we'll get there first.
So let's put a pin in that.
Put a pin in it's not fun. So
Yeah.
Right.
But
wait, with the girl, I would say it was really beautiful. It was on a beach, in a beach house, and she was my roommate, and I was in love with her, but she was straight. Yeah.
Wow.
It was like a friend of ours' beach house who he invited us for the weekend.
College roommate?
No. Have you heard of Drisha?
What is that?
This is such a secret. This is a good secret, actually. This is going to be my secret. Drisha is a Jewish learning program on the Upper West Side. So I was learning Torah every day for the summer. After my freshman year of college, I was very religious. And I hope that she doesn't listen to this, but I was in love with her. We lived together for the summer in a tiny apartment in Washington Heights. And we learned Torah together, and then we fucked.
Wow.
Beautiful. Isn't that beautiful?
That is beautiful.
Torah does lead to sex in a way.
Yeah.
Gay sex. Okay. Finish your story.
Which one was mine? Bisexual. Oh.
Yeah, the pipeline.
Yeah. So it was like I was hooking up with all these guys, and it was just like, oh, this should be more fun. I feel like I'm not coming. And this was also like, I feel like my era of high school was like, I feel like in 2008 or like 2010-ish is when Lil Wayne started putting eating pussy on the map. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Lick it like a lollipop. Yeah, I got you.
No, that's a dick. That's a
dick.
Yeah, that's not pussy.
I like a long hair.
He was looking at a bunch of things.
He was. That, you know that one, I like a long hair, bitch, red bone, open up her legs and fillet me.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
Okay.
How old are y'all?
24.
You're 24?
Yeah.
I know, they don't look so...
Sorry.
They look like...
You know what? Great age.
How old? Yeah.
It's
very young.
I got one more year until my brain stops developing. Ooh. Yeah, big winner over here.
How old are you?
28.
Very cool. Also great age. 31's pretty cool too. I like it.
Yeah. Big fan.
I hear 30s are great.
They are great. They are great.
I'm terrified for them, to be honest.
What feels scary about it for you?
Death.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, we're scared that like you might like just drop over.
Yeah,
anytime.
you never know.
If that's how it happens, you know.
Well, the truth is, I'm scared of not accomplishing all my goals, and I do know that AOC got elected to Congress at 29, so that's what I'm.
You got a year.
So
I have a year to do whatever the fuck I'm going to do. I have basically a year to beat her, and then I should give up. Yeah, after that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
so Lil Wayne put pussy on the map.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in high school, it was like guys were not eating girls out, and I was just like, but there was such an expectation of like getting head, and then it was like getting fingered was comparable, and I was like, what? How is that equal at all? That is not equal at all.
It's not.
Like, not yes. So. That sort of, I was sort of already in the church of getting eaten out, and then
in the church,
and then it was just not really happening. So then I was sort of like, well, I feel like that's the main way that girls have sex, was my understanding. So I was like, all right, you know, maybe I need to hook up with a girl, so that'll be like the main event. And then I did, and I was like, oh wow, this is really nice. And it was like,
how old were you?
I was 21.
Okay.
And then she became my girlfriend for 3 years.
That's amazing.
Classic.
That's very gay. Yeah. The first girl that you ever have sex with to then be your girlfriend.
Totally. Totally. So that was really what did it. And but, you know, and then we broke up, and then I had a second girlfriend, a few guys in between. You know what I mean? So it never, you know, it's an evolving.
Yeah,
identity,
it's fluid.
For sure.
But it's like gay.
But it's gay.
But it's like gay culture.
Yes.
But then there's a dick in there sometimes.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. So you didn't share your story yet, Jack.
Yeah, Jack, what do you got?
What was it? So I'm interesting because I didn't grow up like a very sexual person. This is a whole thing, but like when my dad had the sex talk with me, it was in a public restaurant with like old people frequently turning their heads to listen. And,
oh no!
And I remember being like, "This is the worst thing in the world," and I developed like a ton of shame about like talking about it. And because I was like 14 and my dad had like found porn on my computer, and like in the middle of a restaurant, 3:00 in the afternoon, he's like, "Hey, so I found this stuff," and I'm like, "Dad, what the fuck?"
Right? Why?
And so I had for a very long time, and then especially because like a lot of my sexuality had been wrapped up in my gender, and so I was like struggling to relearn everything a little bit in like the context of being non-binary. And the first person I ever hooked up with was a girl. It was when I was 22. It was senior year of college. We were on she'll probably listen to this. She's a good friend of mine. And
we'll clip this part
we will.
For her.
And we were on a film set, and we go back to my house, and we watch the cinematic masterpiece that is Tusk, if either of you have heard of that film.
Know
It is a film by Kevin Smith, where Justin Long, Long, turns into a walrus.
Oh,
and
random.
It's a horror film, and I don't know why that was the movie that did it, but it was the movie that did it.
You're like, I'm about to
and we were like 15 minutes in, we're like, this is so not hot. Let's fuck.
Right.
And we did, and like neither of us came. Neither of us. It was not a good time for either of us. We both like had like a little talk afterwards, and we were like, what went wrong? Do you feel? And like it was like healthy. Like we were both like, yeah, we get it. Like we both had, I think, some stuff. And then like, yeah, my first time was not like, it was like a good learning experience.
I mean, in the realm of first times, it's really not that bad.
No. And like, I think I was like so judgmental of it when it happened and like beating myself up. But then like, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Everyone's first time is terrible.
Yeah.
And then like, I was like, oh, there's a lot like,
yours was great.
Yeah, I think I always kind of assumed
Justin
everyone
Long?
else, because I was like, not later, but like in Scottsdale. I mean, I don't know if you could tell this, but like, I think that because like the culture around it was so like heading towards like you're gonna get married by like 25, that like a lot of people were like more like they were rushing to kind of do their sexual experiences a little bit. And so I always like I developed this like, oh, I'm behind. I like to blah, 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 blah. And so, but yeah, I unlearned a lot of that. And then, so it was a shitty time, but
Here's
it was a good
my
experience.
applause track.
Oh, how sweet. I can't hear it.
That's why I had to say it out loud.
That's my first time story.
Unlearning sexual trauma.
I remember feeling behind it when I had sex for the first time at 18, which is like pretty.
That's young.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because I grew up Orthodox, so to me, like 18 was really young. But I think in secular cultures, it's like 18's old.
Did you?
People do like 15, 14.
I mean, a lot of my friends, some of my friends had sex at
18,
14.
Yeah, which is too young, children.
No, it is, but it made
way
me feel
too young.
so behind.
Yes. Don't do it.
And I went to college being like, oh my god, everyone's had these experiences. I'm like so behind. I'm fucked up.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, of course. Same.
And it was like not at all the case.
Right.
No.
It's so confusing. No, I know. I felt the same way.
We really just went to talking about squirting to being like, these are like the ethics. And like, you know, we're putting too much pressure on children.
No. Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
That's what you should write about in your show. You should put subliminal messaging to be like, slow down sex.
Don't fuck. Don't fuck till you're ready.
Do an episode. What is it about? Pirates?
No, so it's essentially like.
Wait, what show is this?
It's Story Pirates TV. It's called
your
Story
kids
Pirates
show.
The show that I write for. Yes, it's a children's literacy show that's like aimed at like getting kids to write their own stories.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a show about a show in some ways, and that it's like kind of got like a 30 Rock setup, and that it's like they're putting on a show, and then they run into these issues putting on the show, and then, like, you along the way you're like learning these literary devices which like fix the issue, but then also like teach the kids about the literary device.
I love that.
So there's like an episode where like one of the stars is like sleeping with someone. And
no.
They're like, guys, we're too young. And they're like, oh, but I feel like I have to go fast. The word of the day is fast.
And I'm pitching that tomorrow. Yeah.
The word of the day is squirt.
Yeah. So that's my gay story. But
okay.
Now I'm on my third girlfriend. I have a girlfriend right now.
Exciting.
So I do feel like, okay, yeah, you're like firmly in girlfriend
You're in it.
territory, you know.
How long did it take for you to be in girlfriend territory?
We started dating in like September and then became girlfriends around Hanukkah this year.
Nice.
So
you're lighting the menorah together.
We're going September and then Hanukkah was like,
Hanukkah is the most romantic
is it?
Jewish holiday. I don't know.
It's like the least important one.
Fire.
Yeah. Like
sexy around the candles.
Yom Kippur. And like Rosh Hashanah is like the sexy
Yom
one.
Kippur.
Yom Kippur is not sexy.
It's not sexy. Every Yom Kippur, my like repenting is around being too much of a Yenta.
I love that.
Legitimately is.
And now you're on the Yenta, and you're doing great. God loves this.
For me to, get some good things.
Well, Lent just happened, so you could hop onto that.
The Lent train.
The Lent just happened.
Yeah. That's always, I always forget about Lent until I see the ash, and I'm like,
why?
Lent.
It makes no sense to
Lent,
me.
something I'll just never know about.
I love it because it's not like repent for your sins. It's like repent for one thing you're willing to give up.
Right.
It's like feel bad about the one thing you're willing to sacrifice for 3 months.
I had a boyfriend in 5th grade who was like, I gave up kissing for Lent. And I was like, okay, why the fuck are we dating? Like, I don't know why I was
You dumped him right then and there.
I actually gave up giving a head for Lent, so you can give it to me, but I unfortunately am unable.
Oh God, that was my entire high school experience.
The view of kissing is a sin too.
It's like I gave up kissing for Lent, and I was just like, well, what are we even doing here?
We're gonna hold hands all the way.
Right. Oh yeah, Jeremy Rodriguez. Where is he now?
Wow, we're just naming all the people we fucked.
We're not. You're much older than we are. You've clearly settled your past.
I know.
Do you have your count like on a list? Like, do you have their names?
I do somewhere. So yes. Yeah. But again, I do feel like I would say it's between like 25 and 30. I've like, there's some hazy years.
Where
college.
some of them don't count.
Where it's like, yeah, what are we, cause then it's like with the guys, what are you counting? Cause really you should feasibly, you can count whatever you want to count, really. You know what I mean? So it's like, what's the metric
like oral.
here? Right. But
I don't count oral with guys as sex.
yeah, I actually don't really suck dick that much.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously
Really?
not.
I would not have guessed that from.
I know, it's interesting.
It's not your favorite activity.
It's, it's just, I got a sensitive gag.
You're not with your girlfriend just like, man, I just wish she had a penis.
No, it's just like, I have a tongue tie. Do y'all know what that is? It's like, I only learned about this when my sister had my niece. It's like a condition that where your tongue is like attached to the bottom of your mouth, so it makes it hard to latch. And it's like the way it manifests in adults who like don't, get it corrected is like, lockjaw, sensitive gag reflex.
Shit.
Right. So I feel like it kind of like,
You're like not built for it.
I'm not. It medically explains why I hate sucking dick so much. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I could literally have a doctor's note. You know what I mean? But whatever, yeah. So that I'm like, well, maybe that's part of it.
Does it stop you with eating pussy too, or
It doesn't. But honestly,
Wow.
like it should.
it
work
feels
in
like
the
it
same
should?
way.
Yeah, like how does that work?
For sure.
Yeah.
That's a very convenient disease.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I don't know. That's been a problem this
Whenever
far.
some man's like, can I hook up? You're like, actually, I have a doctor's now. I'm like, yeah, women only tonight. Sorry.
Yeah, I can't.
no, but they can go down on you
For sure.
That's,
You'll
what the note
take
is
it.
there.
You'll put like a blindfold on, listen to some like Gene King or something.
Who is Gene King?
I don't know why. Okay, let's get into secrets.
Yeah, let's get into secrets.
Yeah, we got to do it.
because we've
much
been
time
shooting
have
the
we done?
shit.
Fun
I
for
did my
us.
secret,
What was
which
your
kind
secret?
of. Well, my first time, I guess.
Are we all counting our first time?
No,
as a secret?
no, because it was a secret because I was like we were studying Torah together, and it was like.
Wow. So and it transitioned.
And it
So were you
transitioned into
starting-
lovemaking.
You're cheating.
Were you?
I'll do it. I'll do another one. I have
did
so
it
many.
Start. You guys were studying Torah, and then it transitioned into hooking up. Like that.
No,
was the
not
activity?
literally.
I was
No,
about to
no.
say.
You're
That would be
like
cool, though.
Tore in the lap, like Baruch atah Adonai.
No, that's a thing. And also
Is it?
my ex Mary is now engaged to her chavruta. Do you know
What's
what
that
chavruta
again?
is? It's like a Jewish learning partner, like a
Yes.
study partner. She went to rabbinical school, and she's engaged to the girl that she was learning Torah with.
Wow.
Like that's her.
Wow.
That's their thing. So I do feel like there is something sexy about it.
Right.
And also in my pilot that I wrote, I have a lesbian rabbi, and they do, that's
The
where it
Torah
goes. The
transition.
Torah transition.
Good.
Okay, Jack, you go first.
Fuck, what secret do I have? This is I guess slightly horny. So when I was in like 10th, 11th grade, my big thing in my school was that I was the rapper. I was the rapper in school.
Oh.
They had an old rapper name.
And
Tell us your
Wait,
rapper
now
name.
we got to hear some bars.
so,
Yes.
man,
Spit
I
some
had a
bars.
song called "Bitch Stop It." And it was,
I need to
it
hear a
was-
little bit.
I probably still have it somewhere, but I performed the song at a coffee house. We did an open mic at my Christian school, and I was like, I'm going to perform it, and I changed the lyrics to "Please Stop It" because I was being respectful. And after the
So
show,
nice.
there was like this goth girl who was, I don't know what her deal was, but she like pulled me aside and she's like, "Hey, come with me." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna hook up. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a groupie." And in private, she pulled out a Sharpie and was just like, "Can you sign my boobs?" And I was like, "Sure." And then she
Hell
just
yeah.
left. Oh, that was it.
Wait, but did you sign them?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Of course.
You skipped that part.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Wow.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. I was on a high of being the rapper
That
at
must
a
have been-
Christian high school.
Is that the best moment of your whole life?
It was
I feel like you can't go up from there. That's.
I've definitely gone up from there.
If someone asked me to sign their tits, like that's it. I'm done. I made it.
No, it was weird because she pulled me aside into a private room and then immediately left afterwards.
Did she like take her bra off?
No.
It was like just the.
She was just wearing like a low hanging
private.
top, and it was it.
Wow, you fucking did that on the song, you know?
Man,
So you really don't remember the song?
They're lying.
Hold on, it's like I'm just doing what I gotta get that marijuana cruising. Like, fuck, what was it?
Wow, I do think we would have been friends in high school. Now,
Do you? That's because I was a walking.
You
red
were into
flag.
I'm just like,
You liked that?
I would have like thought it was funny.
I wasn't being funny.
I would have like enjoyed the chutzpah of it. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that you took that as chutzpah and not just me being a narcissist.
Yeah.
And not,
Oh, wow, that's good.
is that a good secret? I don't know.
No, that's good. I rate that one high, actually.
My biggest secret is that I was a rapper in high school.
No. The signing the tits. That's good.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like that secret.
That is a good secret.
I rate everyone's secrets at the end of
It's my
their
only
secret.
rock star moment. Really and
Yeah.
truly.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
I'm gonna
first
look up
of
these
many.
lyrics. Okay, but
Why don't you just play the song? Aren't you on Spotify?
no, I took that off because half of it is
Because
not.
you get canceled.
Yeah,
Yeah. That makes sense.
probably.
There you
Good.
go.
Probably.
Well,
yeah.
now you just spat some bars, so you might get canceled just from those.
I hope that they cancel me now. I hope that they're like, holy shit, there it is.
Oh, it is on.
Are we
you.
pulling? Do you actually want me to pull it up?
Do
Yeah,
it.
pull it up. Do it. You might as well.
Play
Here
it
we
into
go.
the mic,
Here we
so
go.
the listeners,
I forget what I said.
listeners are dying to know.
My friend made this. Hold on, I think this is it.
Hey.
Is that you?
New KZ.
I used to go. Hold on. So for context, and this is maybe the worst thing I've ever done in my life. I used to go by a rapper name, and that rapper name was Kid Dominion. And I was really proud of that name. So I put on my car license plate, Kid Dom. And so if you were driving behind me,
That's funny.
and you didn't know who I was, I had a license plate that just
Wow.
said Kid Dom. Dominate kids.
Wow.
How
Now,
old were you?
How did you
17.
dress?
I dressed like an Odd Future nerd.
Oh, okay. So this makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you into hip hop?
I used to be a lot more than I am now.
Okay,
but yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This
Are
is
you?
only- Yeah, I'm a big. I'm very
I
into
mean, I
hip-hop.
still have like such a deep love for it, but like I still keep in touch.
Yeah. With
I'm up to date.
with the game.
I'm
I'm in touch with the
people.
game. Yeah. No, I'm into hip hop. I'm also desperately thinking of what's my secret.
Did we stall for enough time that you
For my secret,
figure it out?
I didn't, but I'll just
Improv.
it'll come to
Yes,
me. It'll
and.
come to me as a secret.
Yeah.
Man, how much should I?
No one is listening to the podcast, so
Everyone's listening.
You're totally fine.
I used to. Okay, so this is kind of an interesting thing. So I've only had one threesome in my life.
Small.
I guess this is kind of a secret. I only had one threesome in my life, and I used to nanny when I was in New York for this like former A-list celebrity
Sure.
downtown. This I won't drop this name.
Libel.
But she's sort of like an America's sweetheart type, and I was living up in Washington Heights,
Emma Stone.
and that's where we stop.
Okay.
That's where we pause with the guessing. I will not disclose.
Okay.
Because
What
you know
about that makes you think that she?
I don't know.
I'm going to immediately tell you who it is.
I had to try.
The story started with a
Listener,
threesome.
write in. Who do
Okay.
you think this is?
Right. So, anyways, I lived in Washington Heights, and she lived in Tribeca, she lived in Soho, and she had a washer dryer in unit, and so
Whoa.
I would do overnights and stay. When she would go out of town and stay with the kid, and I would bring my laundry down,
Smart.
and like do my laundry there.
Genius.
Was it smart? It was like 40 minutes on the train. I was schlepping my laundry. It's like, was that worth it? Not sure.
To save.
It was free.
Yeah.
It was free. Okay.
To save the whole, it would have been like $275 to do it in a machine.
Something.
Yeah.
But
Something.
Worth
laundromats
it.
are just the
disgusting.
worst.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You were just schlepping your giant
It
laundry
was
bag.
not, it was a sad existence. But anyway, so I would bring my laundry down, and like I had been hooking up with this girl who had a boyfriend, and this was my mid-20s where I was like kind of
Yeah.
toxic, and I was like,
Was it an
whatever.
affair thing?
Yeah, it was
Whoa.
an affair.
Oh, okay.
It was an affair, but my attitude was like, not my boyfriend, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then she like brought her boyfriend to one of my shows, and I was like,
That's so bold.
oh, so now
They're trying to do a
maybe-
threesome. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. So,
That's-
like,
How did it happen that you started hooking up with her?
So she was like a friend of my friends, and we were all at a Black History Month like poetry night on the Upper East Side, if you can believe.
Wow.
Why?
Wow.
And she was there, and she came over. We then like went back up to Washington Heights and just got real messy, just the whole crew
that night.
And then we hooked up. So it was like, so we hooked up.
But not the whole crew hooked up, just you guys.
Just me
okay,
and the
I got
girl,
so excited when you said we all got messy.
No, it was not. I've never been in an orgy before. But so anyways, then.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Tonight, after the podcast.
We
the
actually
podcast
have 17 different people in the back.
I don't know.
Come on out.
Get a little more of that egg salad in me. Fuel up.
Yeah. It's hornier than egg salad.
Rachel had a delicious bagel with egg salad before.
Finished the egg salad.
You were like, man, this feels like an
we
orgy.
treat our guests well on the Yenta podcast.
Yeah,
we fill them up with egg salad,
You get an option.
and then we bring them
egg
to the
salad
orgy.
sandwich, or you get the orgy.
Right.
That's those are
No,
the
it's
warm-ups.
both.
Or if you're lucky, if you're
like
really
you.
chosen,
Right.
But anyway, so this girl and I have a thing. She's like big in trouble with her boyfriend because she cheated. But then all of a sudden she's bringing the boyfriend to my shows, and I'm like, okay, something's going on. So then flash forward, I'm at my employer's place doing my laundry. And I'm supposed to be like meeting up. The girl texts me and is like, well, you want to meet me and my boyfriend for dinner? And I was like, okay, yeah. And then about 10 minutes later, my employer texts me and says, oh, hey, I'm coming home early. Now my stuff is like just finishing from the wash.
Right.
So I'm like, fuck, I'm about to get caught up. So I like put my sopping wet laundry like in a backpack. She comes home, and then I like meet this couple for dinner. They're like whining and dining me. You know what I mean? We got like grilled octopus. You know what I mean? Like it was like, you know,
not
it was
kosher.
I know. I know. And so then they're like, okay, do you want to come back to my place? And I'm like, all right, let's do it. So we come back to the place, and they're like, and we're like reading tarot cards to like to like transition into it. And
that's the foreplay.
Right. That's a foreplay. And I like pick a card, and then I like look over to show them my card, and she's just like fully sucking his dick.
No.
And so I'm like, okay, I guess this is happening.
Wow.
And so I'm like, look, y'all, like I'm down, but I gotta tell you, I got a bag full of sopping wet laundry. Like I gotta lay out my clothes or it's gonna mildew. So then I like laid out all my clothes in their guest bedroom.
Wow.
Nice.
She's still sucking his dick?
No, we like paused to like lay out.
Pause
I think
the
they
dick
helped
sucking
me.
for the
They helped
laundry.
me.
Like,
They were
okay,
ready.
Pause. We'll stop.
Right,
Do the laundry, then
We'll
the
do
dick
some
sucking.
folds.
Right. So we like laid out my wet laundry, and then got it on and popping. And then I, the laundry was dried by morning.
Yeah, it's great. You
good.
can put on a new change of clothes afterwards.
You're
really great.
It's true. I had all my
set
stuff.
yourself up for success.
So that's my secret. I guess my secret is
Holy cow.
I don't even know what the takeaway from that is. It's kind of hard to characterize that story exactly.
I'm curious.
It's a good one.
Did you ever ask them? So he was upset that she cheated initially.
He was, yes, but she was
What
like
was the leap then?
She was like poly. The thing was that why he was like down to then hook up with me.
Yeah, because usually
Because he's not going to say no to a threesome.
She swung it. Like, did the threesome only happen because she got caught and she was like, "Well, this is my Hail Mary."
She didn't get caught. She like told him immediately the next day. Yeah, because
so it wasn't a full affair. It was like a one-time thing when you got messy, and then she told him, and then the threesome,
and then we all
this
sort
was like
of got
BPO
together.
for you, man.
It was something. It was a walk to remember, or a fuck to remember.
A wash to remember.
Yes, a wash to remember. So I guess that's my secret. I'm a freak, and I love.
That's not freaky.
We love it.
You're a freak for the laundry.
I'm a freak for a free wash.
You were
and
like,
dryer.
I'm down to do a threesome, but do you have a dryer? That's the deciding factor.
The laying it out.
We can do it for a full cycle, and then I have to stop.
Right.
Was the threesome good?
It was, it was probably one of the best physical experiences of my life. It was so great.
Threesomes are...
They're really fun.
They're so much fun.
They're so much fun.
Jealous.
They're so much fun. I would suggest being the like random. That's my favorite.
Well, yeah, I feel like
The third.
for messiness.
The unicorn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did they break up after?
They did break up.
No.
See,
They
there
did
you
break
go.
up. And
That's
it was
great.
like the
There you
thing
go.
where it was like, then they were like
right after?
No, then they were like kind of trying to date me, and she
Whoa.
was like,
Oh, I love.
she was kind of like sweating me. She was like, you just come over to like smash, like we want to like go on dates with you. And he was like, I mean,
Did it happen multiple times?
it happened like 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
Wow.
But she wanted to like us to be like dating.
A throuple.
And I was like very not interested in a relationship. And he was sort of like, do what you want to do. Like he was like, come by late.
He was having fun. Yeah.
Him more than her.
It was a good setup for a while, and then I also felt like I was like kind of like a Band-Aid for them a little bit, you know what I mean?
Sex
it was
Band-Aid.
like a classic sex Band-Aid.
Classic. I'm familiar.
You either have a threesome or a kid. Those are the two things
Right.
to save your relationship.
1,000%. So wait, now I'm curious how we're rating those secrets.
That was
It's subjective.
9, man.
Yeah, no, that was high.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Fun.
So I'll be riding that high.
That was a
Sure.
great
The rest of the
secret.
day.
Yeah. It's above.
And that was the first time you've ever told anyone that story, I'm
No,
sure.
I've told so many people.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I
You guys
recently.
friends?
Yeah, we're friends still.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like, we don't really talk that much, but like, it's friend. It's not like, oh God, I can't. It's like, oh,
Right.
fun,
Oh, I gotcha.
hello, great to see you,
Yeah.
hug, how are you?
Yeah.
It's very warm. Yeah, it's very warm.
Okay.
Oh my God.
We're gonna hear her side of the story. This chick came over and started putting out all of her wet clothes.
No, she's wild. Famously, one time she came over to our apartment, me and my friends, and she poured her diva cup into one of our plants.
What the fuck?
And like
For the bit?
and her energy was a little bit like, you're welcome. You know what I mean? Like that's
This is
gonna
my
be really,
gift to you.
Yes.
This is
Yes,
a
yes.
follow up. But did you like notice the plant was healthier? Like,
Important.
Is she?
was it like dying and then
It's
brought it back
hard.
to life?
It's
How
hard
does
to
blood
say.
affect plants?
Right.
We should do a
I
study.
My roommate was so mad about it because what an entitled
No,
sort of
that's
perspective to be like,
chaotic.
my blood is blood. You know what I mean? Like she's like one of those people who like really is like
But who's
thinks
to
they're
say
a bit
it
of a
wouldn't?
witch. You know?
Oh wow!
Wow.
Is that your type?
No.
Okay.
No. I
Thanks
don't
for
have a
that.
type. I'm dating a Jewish girl for the first time, and that's been a really good fit.
Oh. Yeah.
It's been nice to date another Jew. It just is.
I'm with you.
It just is.
I'm with you.
It's
The
nice.
person I'm dating now, I'm like the first Jew she's dated in a while, or I
Yeah.
think ever, and she's also having this like, whoa, it's nice.
How'd y'all meet?
Klexicon,
Oh,
Have you heard of Klexicon?
Wait, did you tell me this? What is that?
the queer Comic Con. Shout out to our Klexicon listeners. It's like, yeah, it's just queer Comic Con. I spoke on a comedy panel there.
Oh, cool.
So that's the only reason I mean, I don't know, in Anaheim. Okay, great secrets. Should we transition into advice?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Are we ready?
Yeah, let's see what they got.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right, Rachel. How do I stop falling in love with people who show me physical affection, smell good?
Wait, so
What?
who submitted these?
Random people from my Instagram.
Is there a problem? You fall in love with people that just smell good?
I guess if they don't love you back, it's a problem.
Someone showered the other day. I fell in love with her.
How do I stop falling in love with people who smell good? That was the question.
Basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
People ask the best questions.
I think
Has this been a problem for you?
I think never.
You've never smelled someone and been like, oh, she's for me.
Nice. No, I think, you know what? You got to remember that they might not smell like that all the time. You caught a
Yes.
That's
snapshot.
so
Preach.
You might not
genius.
smell that like that all the time, and you know
They
what that's really
definitely
a metaphor
don't.
for, that really an example of. You don't really know them, so it can't actually be love. Just like you, that's not a forever scent. That's not a forever feeling you're
Wow.
having.
That's
The
a-
scent is ephemeral, and so are the feelings.
Wow.
That's
Damn.
actually good advice.
Thank
Good.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Yeah.
Can't beat that.
Yeah.
Do you have anything?
The one thing I would say is that if you want to continue to love, just carry like a can of Febreze around you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that anytime you're like, oh, I'm not feeling it, just give it a little spritz. You're like,
spray.
oh, it's back.
Right.
You know?
It is a really big turnoff if someone smells bad. Personally.
Yeah, but I feel like, if someone smells good, it's like cool, but like I feel like no smell is also just as fine.
Oh yeah.
No
But if
smells
they
fine.
smell bad, I'm like,
I was at a Super Bowl party oh fuck, I'm gonna say it because he's gonna know who it is. There's 2 people at the party, and this guy smelled horrible, and he was just like, and you could like tell, and I was like, I don't know how you like at all. Like he has a girlfriend. I'm like, at all how you do it,
right?
You know, like because people who smell bad, like that. How do you get?
Yeah, I don't know. She
near them?
She carries around Febreze.
That's tricky.
I guess.
That's tricky. No, the students I teach, like sometimes they're 5th grade and
Really?
sometimes they smell so bad.
That's
It's
like when you
just
like start having to groom yourself.
Yeah, it's just like, I know you're not showering.
That's so. Do you have to talk to their parents?
No, I mean I don't see them enough for
Okay,
to
good.
make it worthwhile for me to say something.
Just like,
What a terrible conversation.
Really gross kid. Like, I smoke a challenge. It has soap and water in it.
We have to pick one person. Who are we gonna pick?
It's like, you, Jeremy, you're lucky today.
Oh, God.
Like, why don't we do that every day?
Something to consider. No, 5th graders don't smell good. All right, let's hear another one.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
Okay, how to deal with. This is how to deal with from parents. Do you know what from means?
Yeah.
How to deal with like Orthodox religious parents.
Dang.
I know, it's a deep one.
This is because I'm from
You
a
don't have
long
that.
line of labor Jews. That's sort of our, like that was, I feel like they were like, do you know the Bund? The Bund was this like Yiddish worker Jewish group in like the 20s to the. It died out when Israel was created in like sort of like Ukraine, Eastern Europe. Sure. So we're sort of from Bundist stock. So they were like sort of, it's been secular for a long time in that way and more like labor union oriented.
Well, how did they react when you came out?
I never came out to my grandparents. One of those. Wow. Yeah. Because they were really on their way out life-wise.
Yeah. Just out of the building.
It wasn't.
Their exit sign.
Supportive?
No, they would have been not great. Well, I could have came out to my Nana, but the issue was that like I couldn't. She was the one on my mom's side, the one that was like the bougie, not the one that had
shtetl,
more,
not the shtetl trash. Call back.
So I could have came out to her. She would have been fine. Yeah. But then she might have like told the other ones and been like, well, I know this and you don't. And then that would have been a whole thing. And I don't think my dad really wanted me to come out to them because it would have just been like another thing that they would have used as ammo to like tear him down and tear me down. Yeah, they were
toxic.
Kind of
okay,
toxic
you weren't joking.
No. They were deeply damaged.
Yeah.
So I never really came out to them.
What about your parents?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. They're great. My mom is queer. I mean, she wouldn't identify as that, but like I come from a line of there's some like gays in the mix. Yeah, for sure. What advice would you give for that?
Yeah, you're the only one.
I know.
We also totally had this question, I think, 2 weeks ago.
I know, it's a hard one. I feel like I get this a lot because I have a religious background and a religious audience. People trying not to be a religious audience.
Right.
I feel like you just it sucks. That's it. Like it's just gonna suck for a minute, and you're gonna do it, and then you're gonna move on, and then you're gonna be a better, stronger person because of it.
Wow. There you go.
I love how you can
and I'm amazing because of that.
And it worked out for you.
It worked out great. Look at me. I'm on a podcast.
Right.
You started.
On a podcast on the top of the world. Yeah.
Find community. Find other people that are going through similar things, and that's really helpful. I'm in a support group, and a wonderful support group that has like seriously changed my life.
Right.
And it's a ex-Orthodox LGBTQ support group.
Oh, that's amazing.
And some people are actually currently Orthodox, which is wild.
Wow.
And they like it, and they choose it, and they're out. And if you like being religious and you're gay, do it.
Yeah. Yes.
Who cares?
I do think the like idea of like chosen family is especially important in those situations. Where, like, it's not just like the parents are supportive, but like systemically you're not supported.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think, I mean, as what you were saying, I think like the idea of finding a community is really where you find strength. I mean, I know when I went to Chapman, they were the first gay people I met, like a lot of my friends. And it was funny because I was like in a group of all queer, non-binary people.
Yeah, it's a theater school.
Like a straight kid at the time, straight boy. And I was like, I wonder about myself here.
Right.
And so it like encourages you to grow and it encourages you to take all these risks and everything.
No,
and
it's
so
so
just
true.
find a bunch of fucking
queers.
Community.
Find the Jewish queers.
Find the queers.
And you know where the Jewish queers are?
in this room.
podcast.
Right here. We're in.
Tell all of your Jewish queer friends about this podcast.
If you want to solve your problems with your parents, be friends with us.
If you want to solve your problems, follow me on Instagram. And that will stop.
How are we?
I think we can wrap up. We can wrap up.
Let's
We're
do
gonna
it.
let's
plug or anything.
plug,
By
Rachel.
the time
I think 3 months in advance.
3 months in. I know I'm doing a show March 18th in Chicago, but that'll probably be past. This probably won't come out by March 18th. It doesn't.
It might.
All
Probably
right, well,
not.
If you're around March 18th and you're hearing this, come to the Color Club. See me, Rachel Joravsky, Rachel Pegram, and Karen Chi. Other than that, follow me on Instagram at RayJ3K, RayJay3K.
I'll do that.
Sweet. I think you followed me. I'm going to follow you back.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't follow you back only because I didn't know you yet.
Yeah, that's okay.
No,
I like to take risks with people I follow. I don't need to know you to know you're a friend.
I know. And I'm gonna jump off a bridge.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Right on. That's it, right? Anything else?
Yeah, follow me. I'm at Raye on the way.
I'm at Jack_Brenner_.
Yes.
Because someone stole Jack Brenner, and I DM'd them, and I said, "Can I pay you $10 for the Instagram handle?" And they never responded.
$10. I think you need to be going up a little bit higher.
For what? He's a fucking
if you're serious about it.
Teen twat who has my name.
Well, on that note,
All right.
thanks for being here.
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Thanks for being a
This was a-
Yenta
this was
with
a
us.
pleasure.
You're a great
Always.
Yenta.
Thank you.
You've been a Yenta since childhood.
I have. What?
And
Yenta.
this is a full circle moment.
Let's circle.
Okay.